The Secrets of Flirting, Monday, 7:30. And now the Channel 2 Weekend News with Colleen Williams and David Garcia and Roy Firestone with sports.
Good evening and welcome to the Channel 2 News. Topping our report tonight, 4 people are dead, shot to death at a ranch house in southern Santa Barbara County. According to sheriff's deputies, one of the victims was talking on the phone to a friend in Santa Barbara. Suddenly there were screams and gunshots and the line went dead. The killings occurred earlier this evening at the McNamara Ranch about 10 miles north of Santa Barbara County. One man is under arrest. He is identified as a member of the McNamara family. Colleen?
Drunk drivers are once again the target of roadblocks around the Southland tonight. This checkpoint was set up in Belinda about 30 minutes ago. It is the first one to be operated by the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department, but it is very much like those set up by the CHP during the holidays. Authorities warn if you are driving in that area tonight, you might be delayed. But if you are intoxicated, you can expect to stay a lot longer because deputies say they will cart you off to jail. Police are looking tonight for a drunk driver who may have been the cause of a big chain reaction pileup on the Golden State Freeway. It happened about 7:30 this evening. Police say a car was speeding through traffic, then suddenly stopped. 2 other cars and a semi-truck plowed into the car. 3 people are hospitalized in fair condition tonight. The northbound lanes of the freeway in the San Fernando Valley were tied up for over an hour because of that accident.
In less than an hour, convicted killer Dan White completes his 1-year parole here in Los Angeles. The former San Francisco supervisor has not told parole officials where he plans to go. Residents in the Bay Area are braced for the possibility that White may return to San Francisco, the city where he shot Mayor George Moscone and Supervisor Harvey Milk, who was an avowed homosexual as well as a member of the city's Board of Supervisors. Gay community leaders say they do not want White to return to San Francisco. 6 months after the shootings, news of White's conviction on manslaughter charges rather than the expected first-degree murder verdict sparked an 8-hour riot in that city led by gay activists. San Francisco police say they have no plans to offer White protection if he does return to the Bay Area. Dan White is a former San Francisco policeman, fireman, and supervisor. His wife and 3 children still live there. Colleen?
Another case that's made a lot of headlines is making news again tonight. Kloss von Bulow will be tried a second time for attempting to murder his wife. That announcement today from Rhode Island's Attorney General. You'll probably remember back in March of 1982, von Bulow was tried and convicted of trying to murder his wife so that he could marry his mistress. Last year, the Rhode Island Supreme Court overturned the conviction. Meantime, Martha von Bulow has been in a coma now for 4 years.
I am convinced that there is sufficient probative evidence which, if believed by a jury, would result in conviction.
Martha von Bulow is the heir to a multi-million-dollar fortune.
Charges are due this week against the woman who shot her way aboard an airplane in Cleveland and then held 4 passengers hostage. The siege ended last night when police stormed the plane and shot and wounded the woman. The hostages were not hurt, but they say the woman always kept a gun pointed at their faces.
I fully expected to be shot this morning lying in a hospital bed. She said 3 times, you 2 will never leave this airplane alive.
Among the hostages was an 8-month-old baby. The passengers say they stuffed magazines inside their clothing to protect them against bullets. Colleen? And in Bolivia, a team of climbers has reached the wreckage of that Eastern Airlines jet. They say there are no survivors. The plane crashed into the Andes Mountains on Tuesday, just minutes before it was to land at La Paz. There was little hope of finding any survivors because of sub-zero temperatures. Freezing rain and avalanches also. 29 people had been on board that airplane. 8 of them were Americans.
The stage is set in Geneva tonight for next week's high-level arms negotiations between the United States and the Soviet Union. Secretary of State George Shultz left Washington tonight at the head of an American delegation that includes veterans of the strategic weapons talks, which the Russians abandoned back in 1983. The weather in Geneva was reportedly cold as the Soviet delegation arrived. They have instructions from President Konstantin Chernenko to press for cancellation of the proposed American Star Wars missile defense system. But President Reagan has already said that system is not a bargaining chip. In South Africa, Senator Edward Kennedy found a surprisingly hostile climate, that after a friendly greeting from Bishop Desmond Tutu. More than 100 demonstrators swarmed around the senator to protest his visit. Most of the demonstrators are members of a black group that rejects white assistance in the struggle against apartheid. But in spite of that, Kennedy has said when he returns to the United States, he intends to do all he can to advance the process of peaceful change in South Africa.
Well, the news is a lot better tonight for a little boy we told you about earlier this week. The story was about an 8-year-old boy named Peter Sternick, who came to this country for an operation to correct a life-threatening heart ailment. His doctor said they would perform the operation for free, but officials at the Stanford Medical Center wanted $25,000 up front before they would admit him. $25,000 the family did not have. The response to the story has been dramatic. The boy's family has received pledges for the entire $25,000, and a hospital in New Jersey is offering to do the operation free of charge. Officials there are even offering to pick up the tab for airfare for the boy and for his mother.
Up next here on the Channel 2 News, the stars of tomorrow were in Hollywood today looking for their big break.
I want to be a computer scientist and a star, too. I want to be a star and an astronaut.
And in sports, the Kings are getting their act together and taking it out on the road. We'll have all those stories coming up next.
You know what's nice about a Club Med village? If you want to go water skiing or windsurfing, it's right back there. Tennis and volleyball, over there. The shows and disco, right over there. Everything's right here in the village. The last thing you want to do on vacation is move around a lot.
Seems like everyone has a Christmas clearance going on. But when Gymko has a Christmas clearance, that really means something. Oh, there's markdowns everywhere, like up to 50% off coats and sweaters for the whole family. Stylish costume jewelry is now 50% off. TVs, video stuff, and kitchen appliances 10 to 25% off. And all bed sheets are 25% off, too. Oh, there's a whole lot more. But right now, I have to hurry over to Gymko.
Best news ever celebration at your Renault Jeep dealer. Celebrating the best sales year ever for Renault and Jeep combined. With price rollbacks on award-winning Renault Alliance sedan and sporty Renault Encore. See America's lowest price convertible and take advantage of factory-to-dealer incentives on Jeep Cherokee and luxurious Jeep Wagoneer. Hurry, now more than ever, the ones to watch are the ones to buy.
A health warning tonight. Animal control officials say many dog owners are not getting their pets vaccinated against rabies. The concern is that it will lead to an outbreak of the deadly disease. So, Los Angeles dog owners are being encouraged to take their pets to a low-cost roving clinic. It's scheduled on Saturdays at various parks around the city. Today it was in Eagle Rock. 200 dogs, a variety of breeds and sizes represented, stood in a short line for a quick shot. Rabies is common among wild animals here in the Southland, and the shots are considered a must for dogs.
These shots are required every 2.5 years in order for the citizen to get his dog license.
The Saturday clinics will go on now through March. More information is available on a 24-hour recorded hotline. That number is 213 area code 485-5755. Or you can call your nearest animal shelter during regular business hours. The vaccination costs $3 per dog. That number once again is area code 213-485-5755 for a recorded message.
As you might expect, it is no easy matter to give the tallest woman in New York a facelift, especially when she's been around for so many years. But the Statue of Liberty in New York Harbor is in need of repairs, and that's why a brightly painted van was in Torrance today. The van houses an exhibit of pictures, sculpture, and videotape about the famous lady and the place she holds in the hearts of millions of people who came through New York's harbor and Ellis Island. The exhibit will be touring the United States for most of the next 2 years, collecting money for the bronze statue's much-needed restoration.
We have a donation box inside the exhibit, and we ask people to give money to please help save a national symbol.
We are told that Czechs are also welcome. The renovated Statue of Liberty will be rededicated in October of 1986. Taking a look now at our weather, it was absolutely perfect for being outdoors today, sunny and warm. In fact, it's even warm outside tonight. Temperatures are only down in the 50s, but tomorrow they'll be back up in the 70s. Not quite as warm as it was today, but all in all, not a bad day ahead. 73 in the inland valleys, 67 along the coast, 53 in the mountains, 57 up around Lancaster and 70 in Palm Springs. The weather forecast calls for high clouds along with cooler temperatures. Still, an easy day to be outdoors. David?
Well, a lot of stars in the sky tonight, a lot of would-be stars in Hollywood earlier today. The line started forming actually outside the Aquarius Theater last night. A young crowd of singers and dancers all wanting to be picked for a spot on Junior Star Search, an upcoming TV special. And the competition, as you might expect, was hot. But ask anybody in show business, pays to have a second career in mind just in case.
First, start off with Tash. I want to be a judge, a lawyer, and a star. Okay. I want to be a computer scientist and a star, too. I want to be a star and an astronaut. I want to be an electronic engineer and a star.
Well, those kids, if they are chosen, will have to wait until March to see themselves on television.
Coming up next to look at our star, Roy Firestone with a look at sports. He'll have highlights of the Kings and the Bruins in action. And the Clippers are a mile high in Denver after taking on the Nuggets.
Everyone knows the shortest distance between San Francisco and Los Angeles is a straight line. But now AirCal has made it a phone line with single call service. When you call 800-4-AirCal, we'll confirm the most convenient flight available, even if it's on another airline. AirCal's single call service, the shortest distance between Los Angeles and San Francisco. AirCal, we make flying easy.
Every January at every Hallie Specs store, an event so extraordinary, it's registered. It's Hallie Specs half the store at half price sale. Half the store is now half price. Everything else up to half off. But you don't have to take our word for it.
The price was by far the lowest of most stores I went to.
It's the sale everyone talks about.
A great variety. I'd say Hallie Specs was half the price.
Builders and decorators, compare your wholesale prices with our sale prices. Hallie Specs, no regrets prices, no regrets guarantee.
Yours is an American family, well-informed, 2.6 children, plus 30% tax bracket. Like your fellow citizens, you find taxes taxing. Some breakthrough advice. In place of the family dog, we suggest the family cat. His name is Dreyfus. Dreyfus is king of tax-exempt bond funds with a wide, comforting choice of tax-free, high-yield investments. Man's best friend is his Dreyfus tax-exempt fund.
The official cars of the Tournament of Roses are on sale now. A limited number of Oldsmobiles were ordered for the tournament, and these cars have to be sold fast, including the Cutlass Supreme, America's #1 midsize, and the front-wheel drive Cutlass Sierra. So test drive the Olds of your choice at your Southern California Olds dealer today. Once these official cars are gone,